Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So today, as promised on Instagram, I will be doing a natural hair Q&A for you guys. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, I went onto my stories and I said if you guys have any natural hair questions that you'd like for me to answer, drop them in my DM. And I got a whole lot of questions. So first of all, thank you so much for being so engaging. Please continue to be that way. It really just helps the content and making sure that I give you guys the relevant content and the content that actually adds value. I'm really grateful for the engagement. It really has helped to make this video a lot easier and a lot relevant. Also, if you are new here, a very warm welcome to you. I am so excited that you decided to click on this video and find out what it's about. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so you know every time I release a new video. Okay guys, let's get into the video. I'm gonna try and not make it long. There are a lot of questions and I'm going to try my best to answer all of them. I've got my tea as well, so I hope you guys don't mind if I sip and I answer. Hopefully I can multitask effectively. Okay, so the first question comes from Miss Mtungwa. Hey Zama. So Zama's question is, how long do you keep your braids in? And I actually had a private chat with her about this, but I think it will be relevant to actually answer it because a lot of people are probably curious. So my answer is, and it was to her, as long as possible. And as long as possible is anything more than 2 months. So the thing about natural hair, and I've said this before guys, is you need to make sure that you don't interfere with your hair. If your goal is length, for example, which I believe a lot of people who are trying to grow their natural hair, their goal is to make sure that their hair grows, you have to not disturb your hair. The reason why we protective style is because we are protecting the hair. So keeping it in for a month or for 3 weeks or whatever, first of all, is a waste of your money, but second of all, actually does more damage to your hair than grows it. So make sure that when you have your braids in, keep it in for 2 or 3 months. If you guys want a video for me to show you how you wash your hair when your hair is in braids, let me know in the comments down below. I don't, however, recommend that if you have very short hair, like shorter than mine right now, that you wash your braids because they're probably going to slip out. So it's yeah, it's a toughie. Like if you can keep your hair without washing it for 2 months at a time, I would say do that. If you can go for longer, as in if you're a person who can braid the front part of your hair, or you know how to manipulate your braids so that they don't look old, then, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, then rather do that, but keep it in for as long as possible, while still maintaining obviously its neatness and the hair health and the smell and all that stuff. Cool. Next question. This is from Tato Gets Fit. So Tato asked me 3 questions. So okay, so I'm gonna answer all 3. So the first question is, what's a realistic, and in brackets, time savvy routine? So to be honest, your natural hair routine can be as long or as short as you want it to be. If your hair is short, which I know your hair is quite like a manageable length, you can literally just wash your hair in the shower. You don't have to deep condition all of the time. Like once a week, deep condition your hair. But if you're in the shower, washing your hair with conditioner, aka co-washing, and maybe detangling your hair quickly or finger detangling, and you're done. That can be like 15 minutes. Some people, they want to pre-poo and then they want to wash and then they want to deep condition, leave it overnight. That's gonna take freaking 8 hours or 24 hours, you know. So it depends on how much care you want to give your hair, but neither routine is wrong. It really does depend on what your hair needs. Okay, cool. Next question is, how do you protect your hairline with wigs and braids? Okay, so the one thing I would say is, first of all, you need to start off by having a hairdresser who knows how to braid hair. If your hairdresser makes your braids around your hairline tight, then you will have an issue with alopecia. So make sure that the person who's braiding your hair is super gentle in the front. But another thing that I do, because my hairline actually does sometimes get very what do you call this? It does get a little bit dry and tender, my scalp more especially. So what I will do then is I will just add an oil and like massage. I really do enjoy massaging my hairline, and I do it a lot, and I will massage the oil into my hairline. So yeah, that's how I essentially protect the hairline. Another thing is, to my first point around keeping your hairstyles for a long period of time, protective style for long periods of time, and that way you won't be aggravating your hairline that much and that often. Okay, so the next question is, does rice water really work? Girl. Okay, so here's a tea on rice water. I started using rice water the minute I cut my hair, and I think it was like a great experiment for me to do, because I mean, my hair was really short around Christmas. That's when I did my big chop. If you haven't watched my big chop video, I will insert it in a card right over here. It will be scrolling, so click on it and watch my big chop video to see how short my hair was and how much my hair has grown. And I do significantly attribute it to two things: my braids and rice water. So the short answer is yes, rice water does work. However, you need to be very, very careful. It really, really strips your hair. And I had noticed, because I was using it on a weekly basis, I wanted to use it for a whole month, and I only ended up using it twice on my hair. And I mean, even when I use it twice, it really, really was effective. However, I do feel that if your hair is very fine, and if you already struggle with dryness with your hair, be very careful. I do recommend rice water, and using rice water, I do believe it's effective. It's crazy, I don't know what makes it work, but it really does work. But just be careful with it and don't use it so often, and you should be fine. Make sure that your hair is moisturized before and after, like 100% protect your hair, and it will be fine. Okay, the next question. Thanks, Tato, for all those questions. So the next question is from Zipo14. Hi, Zipo. And her question is, how do I get my hair to grow? Crying face. Okay, so I have a video on how to make your hair grow. I'm not going to cover that in this video because, as I mentioned, I don't want this video to be super long and I don't want to be redundant, but I'm going to link it up here so you can see all of the tips that I gave you in my hair growth video. I think it's very comprehensive, and I give you all of my tips there, and it's what I apply even now to make my hair grow. So check out that video. Okay, the next question is from, this is Lebu. She says, big chopped 6 months ago, what should I focus on in terms of growth? Okay, so depending on how long your hair is, if you can braid your hair, I would say braid your hair and keep it for a long period of time. If your hair is too short to braid, I would say just wig it out, like put wigs on. Whatever you do, cover your hair. And another trick, or something I've noticed, which is probably, people are probably going to find it gross and it's maybe slightly controversial, is I truly believe that like hair grows in heat. So like if you can like steam your hair, if you wear beanies a lot, if you keep like your bonnet on like the whole day, things like that really encourage my hair growth. I don't know what it is about like high heat that my hair loves, but my hair loves heat. My hair loves heat and it loves water. So I would say do those things. The next question is from Naomi Yomi. Hey girl, so she sent me two questions, and the first one is, should one natural dry their hair or use a dryer? Okay, so the one thing I hate about the natural hair community is that everyone really believes that they are like the vice Jesus of natural hair. The one thing I'd say to you is, do what works for your hair. If it is practical for you to blow dry your hair and you're fine with it and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't break your hair, then blow dry your hair. If you're a person who finds that you get better results by naturally drying your hair, then naturally dry your hair. However, the most important thing to note about naturally drying your hair is, if you're comfortable with like shrinkage, then it's fine. You don't need to manipulate your hair. But if you do want to add some stretch so your hair doesn't tangle and knot, then I would say braid your hair, like I've done in my hair videos and I've shown you guys multiple times. So braid your hair and then let it natural dry. But if you want to blow dry it, then make sure that you've got a heat protectant on your hair and make sure that your hair is adequately nourished and moisturized before you blow dry. The one thing though that I have noticed with blow drying my hair is, the one thing I've noticed is that it leaves my hair very dry and hard. Like my hair is already really like hard and rough, like I've got 4C hair. But when I blow, or when I used to blow dry it, it would be super hard and tough to manipulate. So that's the only thing about blow drying your hair. Her next question is, how many times should one wash their hair in a week? Okay, I'm worried about that one. And the reason why I'm worried is whenever people wash their hair multiple times in a week, I can guarantee that their hair is not growing as fast as it could. When you manipulate your hair that many times, you stunt its growth. I feel like I'm like a broken record when I say this, but guys, don't play with your hair. If your thing is growth, don't play with your hair. But if your thing is like health and you want to get to understand your hair, then I would say like wash it as often as you want to, but you're not going to see the hair growth that you would see if you kept it untouched and covered for long periods of time. So to answer your question, how many times should one wash their hair in a week? It really depends on your goal. If your goal is health and you want to make sure that your hair is adequately moisturized, I'd say as many times as you want to, because it also depends on hair length. Some people who have longer hair just can't wash their hair during the week multiple times. Like I couldn't when my hair was long. I still can't. I feel like with this hair, I can't do that every single day. I can't do it 3 times a week either. I can do it maybe like once a week. I can commit to once a week washing it, but washing your hair doesn't make your hair grow. That's another thing, and it's another misconception that I also wanted to address. Washing your hair multiple times does not make your hair grow at all. So make sure that you are washing it for the right reason, because every time you wash your hair as well, you strip it. So I would recommend, if you are going to start growing your hair, rather co-wash your hair, meaning wash your hair with conditioner, or you can actually go buy a co-wash. Cantu has a great co-wash product that you can go and buy. Alternatively, I would say only use shampoo on your hair like once a month, but in maybe like use it at the beginning of the month, mean for the other weeks you're co-washing to make sure that your hair is moisturized and not stripped every time you wash it. That actually contributed a lot to my hair health. When I started out as a naturalista back in 2012, I used to co-wash a lot and my hair loved it. And I'm definitely going to go back to it now. Thank you so much for those questions, Naomi. Okay, so the next question is from Nawa Lotus, and she says, okay, she's got 2 questions as well. So the first one is, how can I grow my hair quickly? Does rice water really dry out natural hair? And what products would you suggest for someone with short natural hair? Okay, so those are basically 3 questions. So the first question, how can I grow my hair quickly? I'm sure you guys can say it with me now. Don't touch your hair. Cover your hair, braid your hair, protective style for multiple months at a time. If you still want to understand what I mean by all of that, I have a video. I'll link it in the description box. I will add a card to it, and I'll also add it in the end cards at the end of the video, so you can catch it in 3 different places if you want to understand how you can actually grow your hair. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I've done a very in-depth video around that, as well as the products that I recommend and that I use. Does rice water really dry out natural hair? Girl, it really does. It really does. I think that you need to adequately protect your hair, as I mentioned when I was answering Tato's question. Make sure that your hair is protected. Make sure that you moisturize like a lot if you're going to experiment with rice water. But yeah, no, it works, but it does dry out natural hair. And then your last question, what products would you suggest for someone with short natural hair? So there is a difference between short natural hair and long natural hair with regards to the products that you use. So you can use whatever is at your disposal, depending on what your budget is, what you can afford, and what your goal is. You can use the same products. Some really reputable brands that I like and that I've used, and that I know of friends who have amazing hair. They use these products. It's definitely Cantu, As I Am, on Jackie's, Native Child. So look at those hair lines and find out which product you're interested in. The one thing I can say is make sure that you LOC your hair. So make sure that you add liquid to your hair, which is like water. Get a good oil, any oil that you want, depending on your hair thickness. I would recommend something like an olive oil. Avocado oil also works really well for hair, as well as the Jamaican black castor oil that I always talk about. Those 3 oils, depending on your hair type, You can experiment with those 3 oils, as well as add an essential oil for like the smell. And then what's the last thing that I wanted to say? Oh, C, cream. Make sure that you get a nice thick cream if you have 4C hair, or you get a lighter kind of cream or moisturizer for your hair if you have much finer or lighter hair than me. So it all depends on like what your hair needs, but there is no specific product type for long hair or short hair. Okay, cool. So the next question is from Amanyile_Chengula. Hey Ama. So Ama's question is, what do you do when your hair stops growing? Mine's stuck at a particular length. Okay, so I've had this question before, and I've answered a couple of people before as well. So what I've done, I can't say that my hair stopped growing, but what I've noticed actually helps if you feel like your hair stopped growing and you can't really see the difference, is cut it. I know it's a scary thing, but if you cut your hair, you'll actually be able to see your hair grow again. My sister actually had a point in her life where her hair was stunting and it wasn't like growing evenly, and it wasn't growing well either. She cut all her hair off, and her afro is like, if you guys know my sister, you know her hair is popping. Okay, so the next couple of questions, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions from, wow, these are a lot of questions, guys. I've got 5 questions from She's a Dandy. So I'm going to answer 3 questions. Some questions do repeat, like the rice water question again. So I've already answered the rice water question, but there's 4 questions that I'm going to answer from She's a Dandy, and thank you so much for submitting so many questions to me. So the first one I'm going to answer is, what products do you believe help with achieving hair growth? So, very controversial, but I honestly believe that probably 60% of hair growth is genetics. The other 40 is how you take care of your hair. I don't think that there's a particular hair product that makes your hair grow, but there are certain products that kind of make your hair feel healthy. I don't think that there's a thing that can make your hair grow, unless you start talking about like supplements, like dabbling into collagen, trying collagen out, which I did try out. You can try out collagen if you want, but I don't think that anything that you put topically on your hair can actually make that much of a difference, except for 2 things that I've noticed, which is the Jamaican black castor oil for your hairline, as well as collagen supplements. Okay, do you believe in the whole only use a wide tooth comb theory that most naturalistas have? Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't use a wide tooth comb though. Let me show you guys what I use. Okay, so what I use is this comb. I'm so sorry if it's dirty. My sister borrowed it and didn't clean it properly. But it's this Evolve detangling brush, and this has been like such a gem in life for me. If I'm not using this, then I'm literally using my fingers. I do agree that a fine tooth comb will damage your hair because your hair is very coily and coarse. If you put a fine tooth comb through your hair, you definitely are going to break the strands, especially if your hair is weak and fragile. So I do recommend using either your fingers, a detangling comb or brush with really soft malleable tips, or an afro comb. Next question is, what are your thoughts on rice water and using hair food? So I've answered the rice water one. I'm not going to cover the rice water one. Using hair food on your hair, like hair grease. Honestly, another controversial view. If you want to use hair food on your hair, aka mineral oil, petrolatum, all that stuff, 100% use it if it doesn't clog your scalp. I think the number one reason why people say don't use it is because firstly, it's got harmful chemicals, and I am not a scientist. I can't tell you how petrolatum and mineral oil harm your hair. The one thing I can say though is it's very, very thick, and it kind of will stunt hair growth. I think the reason why people reach to hair food when they turn natural is because your hair is dry, and you want that thing that's going to make your hair look shiny first of all and feel moisturized. There are other things that you can explore, like as I mentioned, hair butters that will give you that feeling of like a hair food with all of the natural and helpful ingredients, as opposed to the mineral oil that is in hair food that kind of blocks your scalp and doesn't make your pores breathe. So yeah, that's what I think about hair food. I don't know if I answered the question, but those are my thoughts. What products do I use? So I use a range of products. I am a product junkie. So that's a bad question to ask me, but my top 3 hair care brands or lines are Cantu, obviously number 1. Love Cantu. I love Sheer Moisture, and I'm trying out Aunt Jackie's. I can't say like I'm definitely for them at the moment as yet. I'm still trying them out, but they're really cool. I have a couple of Aunt Jackie's products. The products that are always in my cupboard for my hair will always be a Cantu and a Sheer Moisture products. But I'm really open to trying other brands. That is my plan after the lockdown, is to actually go stock up on other brands like As I Am, Native Child, because I've heard amazing things about brands like that. So I am really open to trying out those brands. And then the next question is Embry Theory, and they asking me, what is your favorite hairstyle? The braid outs. The braid outs is literally my favorite hairstyle. I feel like it's like the cutest thing. It's nice, it wears well. You can wear it for a couple of days if you like undo it properly each day, and you don't unravel it all completely on the first day. It actually has a lot of wear in it, and I absolutely love braid outs. Okay, and the next question is from Gabaza_N, and she says, my hair is not growing anymore, thinking of doing a big chop and starting over. Girl, do it. I did it, and here we are 3 months later. I'm really happy with my hair length. It's a length that I'm actually comfortable to be confident to walk around and go out with. I love this length. I think it's just a great length. It's manageable, it's cute, and it's healthy. So I would say yes, big chop. Okay guys, so that essentially wraps up all of the questions that I received. I really appreciate your submissions once again, and I hope that this video has helped. If you have any more questions, or you forgot to give me your questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I will meet you there and I will answer all of your questions. I really enjoyed filming this video. It was super chilled and laid back. It was fun. So let me know what other content you'd like for me to film for you regarding natural hair. Let me know in the DMs. Follow me on Instagram if you're not following me there. Yeah, you can let me know in the DMs. You can let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely get back to it, and I will definitely create that content for you. Until next time guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.